Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, welcome in. Today's new drug is an early start on a Thursdays. You know that. Every Thursday, we're 2 to 4. Frank, Frangie, Hayes, Carline. JJ LaSelva with you on a beautiful day. You know, it is hot later. Is it hot later?
It really, because it went away for 10 days, and I thought it was over.
Yeah, and then
but last week it's come back with a pretty good amount of vengeance.
I think next week it finally cools off I say cools off for the long haul, not at 75 or 80, not cold.
But yesterday it was it was oppressive. Kind of today too.
Yeah.
I wasn't out in it as much yesterday, but yesterday being out at practice,
it was hot.
It was sweltering.
Yeah, no questions. All right, a lot of things to talk about today on the program. Our friend Greg McGarity stops by in about 10 minutes or so. The Gator Bowl College Football Report. I'm going to ask Greg which two teams are coming to the Gator Bowl. We should know by now. We'll do that today.
We know what team is not coming.
Yeah, we have a pretty good idea. It's if the Gators couldn't get there last year with what were they in the regular year?
I think they were
7,
8-4.
8-4. So if they or 7-5 maybe. I don't know. If they couldn't get there with 7 or 8. So you think with 2 wins this year is harder?
It's going to be hard.
You don't think they're going to take a 2-10?
You're going to have a really good academic record to get the tiebreaker.
Very good APR.
Yeah, if they're out of eligible clubs.
The 2-10 Gators look like they're not in play now for one of these bowls. So, but we'll Greg will be here in just a few minutes. We always look forward to talking college football with my buddy Greg McGarity. Lee Smith at 3:15 by phone. He's at Bethpage Black as we speak. He is going to be live on hand at the Ryder Cup, and he'll give us a preview of the Ryder Cup today on the program. We're certainly looking forward to that. We'll hear from Robert Hainsey, the center, who I think, by the way, is, and I'm glad you have him. Hayes tracks all these guys down and does a great job on these one-on-ones. I think he might be one of the unsung heroes. No one's going to say the center's a hero, but they're different. They're more physical. They protect. There's running lanes. There's a reason you're one of the best rushing teams in the league. And I will tell you this, if you're in the top 2 or 3 in running the ball in the league, you probably have a pretty good center. Is that a safe? It's not a blanket statement, but it's pretty safe, wouldn't you think?
Without a doubt, it's one of the most valuable positions in terms of setting the line. When I say setting
making line calls.
Well, that and also in wagering.
Yeah,
the center. If you don't have your center, it's a massive.
I didn't know that.
It affects the line. Just under the not having your quarterback.
I didn't know that. I thought you meant making line calls.
Well, certainly that too.
You mean setting the betting line?
Correct.
I didn't know
that. It's an incredibly important position, one that I think I do think as sports fans we tend to undervalue. But yeah, it's critical, and they really needed an alpha. They needed a leader. That unit's had some veterans on it, but for whatever reason, they just didn't really feel like that strong leadership was something that, they needed to offer. And to Robert's credit, he came in immediately and was willing to do that. It certainly helped that he knew Liam's scheme. And he talks about that it made his acclimation a little easier compared to everybody else. But he's the one that went to Liam, prior to that first preseason game and said, we want to play. And everything that he has done has been in from a strong leadership position. He was named a captain, and you got to absolutely credit the center when you're 4th in the league in rushing.
Yeah. And I think he's got a lot to do. So we'll hear from him at the bottom of the hour. So a lot of fun stuff coming up on the program today. I'm looking forward to the Ryder Cup preview with Lee Smith again. He is there. He'll be checking in live from Bethpage Black.
Yeah, we're gonna get the tomorrow's lineup any minute.
Yeah.
So it should be fun to break.
I can't wait to
down.
see it. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, 2 years ago, remember they had the dreadful morning where I want to say Europe won all 4 matches and really put the U.S. in a massive hole early. So it's critical. It's not like kind of stroke play golf where you can have sort of an okay first day,
right?
But then you still have, if you get going, you've got 3 more days. The Ryder Cup, if you get in a hole, it's not impossible, but you certainly make it difficult for yourself. So hopefully they'll be ready to play tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so it's going to be an awful lot of fun. We'll talk a little bit about FSU Virginia more tomorrow night. That'll be a big game. We'll get a live report from Charlottesville tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. But again, that remains an intriguing game for me because I think FSU is really good and will win the game and will win the game going away at the end. But Virginia's pretty good on offense. Chandler Morris, the quarterback, is a legit quarterback. Hayes. He is. This Chad Morris's kid. He's been at about 3 or 4 colleges. That's today's guy, right? I mean, he's thrown a bunch of touchdown passes. For North Texas, he was very good. But I'm intrigued by. I'm really looking forward to watching that one. Again, I think by middle of the third quarter, my guess is Noles have it in hand. But that's a way more interesting watch for me than if you'd have asked me. If you'd have asked me on August 10th, 3 weeks before the college football season started, how interested I would be in Florida State, Virginia on a Friday night, I'd have gone, Now I think it's because of everything we follow, because of Florida State, Miami is 8 days later, because FSU looks like they're legit. Miami is legit. This is the precursor to it. That game's gone from August 10th for me. I really wouldn't have cared to where that's really appointment viewing now, I think.
I think there's a good chance of an upset. It's historically a tough assignment to go play on the road on Friday night in league play if you're FSU. And I get back to they've looked great. There's no doubt about that. But the Alabama game was a month ago. And they just haven't really they haven't faced anything since that. I mean, they played East Texas A&M. Then they had a bye. Then they played Kent State. And so I think that's a challenge from a coaching standpoint because all they've heard for a month is how great they are. They haven't really played anybody of consequence to test themselves at all. Not to their credit, they've destroyed both teams. But still, it does make you wonder when they see somebody that might have a pulse and you're on the road, does the game get dicey? And I think there's a good chance that it does, and it at least comes down to the end. And again, not that Virginia is done anything magnificent, but they have at least played 4 games, so they haven't had the lull, and they've played NC State, who they lost to 35-31, and they've played Stanford, who I know isn't a good ACC team, but Stanford at least has some measure of athleticism compared to Kent State, East Texas A&M. And so in looking at it, I think Virginia is probably a little bit further ahead of knowing exactly what they are. For Florida State, you still don't really know. Did Alabama just have an off night? Is Alabama, maybe not that great? Or is FSU a spectacular team? And that's the other thing about it. Would the pendulum swing that wildly to go from 2-10 to 10-2? Maybe it does. Maybe that's the new era of college football. But I also could see us sitting here on Monday saying, wow, didn't see that coming Friday night in Charlottesville. And, so I do think it's got an element of the upset.
Certainly worth watching for all those reasons. And look, Tony Elliott's the coach at Virginia. He was the play caller. He and Jeff Scott sort of shared the coordinator roles for those championship Clemson teams. But Elliott called the plays. Jeff Scott didn't call them. So that's why he was a hot commodity, and he turned down some jobs before taking that Virginia job, and it hasn't gone very well for him. It has. I mean, the Tony Elliott era at Virginia hasn't been very good. But sometimes when you get the right guy, it takes a little while. I promise you at Virginia right now, they're saying, okay, this is the year we've kind of been waiting for. Tony's got the quarterback he's been waiting for. Yeah, we lost a heartbreaker on the road when we were up 10 in the second half. But other than that, we've been pretty good. This is the validation game to your point, Hayes, this is the validation game for Virginia. With everybody watching on national TV, you beat a top 10 Seminole team with that brand, and now everybody notices us. This is the coming in their mind, in the minds of a Virginia fan, a Virginia student, the Virginia team. This is their coming out game. And so that's how they're seeing it, which is a good challenge for Florida State. So we'll see. All right, a lot of things to talk about. We'll start it. We'll keep it on college football. We'll take a break. When we come back, our friend Greg McGarrity's here. He's the executive director of the Gator Bowl. We'll talk college football and more after this. So stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's skilled in the art of diplomacy.
I'm Defense Minister Dmitry Mishkin.
Get insights and interviews from Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline when he takes you behind enemy lines.
The CIA has no knowledge.
Delivered by Palo Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
They give their best physically and mentally.
Listen for the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Scholar Athlete of the Week, tuned up by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234
Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show.
on 1010XL.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Enjoy barbecue, live music, and auctions at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida's 4th annual Sizzlin' Soiree, presented by Dunkin' Donuts, October 2nd at the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I like to only recommend the very best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. Now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for up to 72 months. That's 6 years of interest-free payments with Pella on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just visit their showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows, for quality you can trust and savings you can't miss. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Winter and spring registration is already cranking up at I-9 Sports, and if you have kids ages 3 to 17, I-9 Sports is inviting you to get them on the field or in the gym with great sports like girls flag football. Plenty of places to play like Oakley, Fleming Island, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Log on to i9sports.com and see all the sports they have to offer across the First Coast. In Duval, Clay, and St. John's. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Registration open right now for winter and spring sports at i9sports.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
The College Football Report is presented each week by the Gator Bowl with Executive Director Greg McGarity. Here's Greg with the Frangie Show crew.
And we welcome you back to the program. Greg McGarity is here. Time to talk a little college football. It's going to be. I'm excited about FSU Virginia tomorrow night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. That's the only big game in the ACC this weekend, though. Everything else is kind of just compared to what the SEC has night and day.
Yeah. Is Virginia Could Virginia wins that game and goes on a run? Could they be in play for you?
Sure.
You'd like them, right?
I just think it would be a monumental upset for them to beat FSU.
Yeah, I do too. But I agree. I think FSU is really good.
Yeah, I do too.
I said this at the top of at the beginning of the season. That win over Alabama, that wasn't Alabama being down. That wasn't Alabama being off. That was FSU. Mike Norvell did a great job rebuilding that thing. So it'll be interesting to see.
I agree.
But it's an intriguing game tomorrow night, no question about it. So.
No doubt.
All right, got all kind of things to ask you.
Yeah.
Let's start with the thing we talked about this yesterday or last week, but it's now more than ever. I would think two really good Gator Bowl teams year in and year out would be South Carolina and Clemson. Both are out of play now, maybe, or possibly out of play. How does that hurt the Gator Bowl?
Well, from the ACC standpoint, if you took those out, then Miami, I don't think Miami's going to be in play for us. So the next closest guys are NC State, North Carolina, but Syracuse has a great Florida presence as an alumni group. So the job Fran Brown's done this year, I wouldn't diminish that, but certainly there's some teams that aren't going to make it. Boston College is a struggle. We can't have Cal or Stanford, but some of those teams have to really step up and win some of these games so that Miami and FSU, Tech, I think Tech will run the table until they play Georgia. So could they play up? Yeah. I think they've kind of they don't play Florida State or Miami this year.
They'd almost have to be in at 11-1, wouldn't you?
You would think, and then whoever goes to the ACC championship game and who doesn't play in that game may be out. You just don't know.
What about Louisville? They're 3-0. They've yet to play a game in conference, so lots to determine. But would Louisville be a good fit?
Absolutely. They've got 9. I've got them with 9 or 10 wins this year. I think you're going to have 9 to be in our game. So I think we're in pretty good shape on the upper 4 or 5 schools. It just depends on how many go up.
That's interesting. So you think 9 will be the number?
I do.
Either way.
I do.
In either
both conferences, because Ole Miss, we couldn't take anybody with less than 9 wins last year.
Yeah.
And the Duke's a little bit different. But I think in the SEC, my hopes that a 7-win Florida team would trump a 9-win Ole Miss just wasn't in the cards.
Right. And we all found that out.
Absolutely.
So Greg, how do you, in your mind, when is somebody in or out? And let me I know we talked about Clemson, South Carolina a minute ago. Like Miami would be a great team to have here. I would think if I'm you at this point, I'm thinking Miami's probably out.
I would agree.
Miami's played their way out already.
I agree.
When do you do that with team? Does it happen like that?
Probably week 10. Okay. You get that deep in the season, then you see what they have left, and then you can sort of project because the first college football playoff rankings will come out in, I think, late November. So that's a huge part of it because then can teams jump certain teams? Once that first ranking comes out, that's the first indicator of who may be able to not play up in the college football playoff.
One of the big storylines in the SEC is a couple of teams that we don't normally expect much from, but Vanderbilt and Mississippi State are a combined 8-0. I don't know that it will last, but that sort of is fly in the ointment's probably not fair to them, but it's something interesting as we get into October.
Vandy's got a tough schedule coming up. I think they'll be 5-0 going into Alabama in Tuscaloosa. But I think what they've done a remarkable job. You've got a popular guy in Pavia. They're the hot team right now. And Mississippi State, what a huge game they have with Tennessee this weekend in Starkville. And also they play Georgia in Starkville too. So, you can't take anything for granted. I don't care. And Florida State better not be overlooking Virginia getting ready for Miami.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Let's get to the Florida situation. We ask you every week. It seems to be getting stickier and stickier for Billy Napier. He's drawn a line in the sand. He's not benching his quarterback. He's not giving up play calling. If you're Scott Strickland now, would that frustrate you? Would you just say nothing and wait it out? How would you be handling this if you were Scott?
A lot depends on his relationship with Billy.
Yeah.
How tight are they? Is there communication? I just don't know what that communication is like. Is Scott around a good bit, or are they separated a little bit? You just don't know what that's like. But you don't want to. I think the mistake would be to encourage him to do something different, because then if it doesn't work out, well, my AD told me to do that. There's a fallback. So you got to be very careful where you step. But I'm kind of like Coach Spurrier. I think if things aren't working, try someone else. You can't keep doing the same thing. And I know that may destroy the confidence in their quarterback, but I understand 17 is pretty good too as a backup. So what's the harm in trying something else in there if it's just not working? Because your defense is playing well.
So to that end, I completely agree. Hayes does. We've had that conversation. But if you're the AD and the coach has drawn a line in the sand and clearly isn't willing to do that, wouldn't that? I mean, you've been an AD. You know the chair. Wouldn't you be thinking? Wouldn't that add to your angst with your coach? And you're right. The relationship's important, but wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Even if you're close.
And I think I might have mentioned this earlier. There are indicators that you have throughout the year: the inability to adjust.
Yeah.
The inability maybe to control your assistant coaches. From that standpoint, they're just markers that they accumulate.
Yeah.
And you start to accumulate those. And if you have too many of those, you probably have more negatives than you have positives. And then that all comes down to the evaluation process. And I'm sure Scott's got all those things under control.
You touched on this last week, but we didn't really get into it. Florida not having a permanent president, having an interim president. How does that complicate what's already a very difficult situation in terms of either firing a coach or hiring a new coach?
Well, I don't know if an interim president wants to be able to make a decision on a short-term basis. As I understand things, he's there temporarily. I know Scott had an extension, I think, while Kent Fox was still there. So you've got an individual, and I've never met the man or anything like that, but it's not really coming from a strong athletic background. And he may have it. And
the interim president.
The interim president, I mean, from Columbia, a doctor. So he's probably got to get used to what college football in the South is all about as well. So I'm sure he's going to depend on Scott to help him. Now, again, I don't know who's involved outside the ropes at the University of Florida. I just know, and I mentioned this earlier, that, from the University of Georgia and University of Florida perspective, there was no outside noise. It was strictly the president and the athletic director. But in all those cases, there was a permanent president in place. I think Charles Young was there. I forget when Dr. Young was there, but you're talking about somebody who had his thumb on the pulse of college athletics. My gosh, he might have been one of the best.
Yeah. So, but I don't sense. Tell me what you think about this, because you know these guys. I don't sense at this point whether there's a full-time president in place or not, it'll affect Scott's decision with Billy Napier. I think that story has become so big now. It has become such a hot button topic in not just Florida, but college football overall, that I would think an interim president would not get in the way if the AD wanted to move on.
I agree. I think he would defer to the athletic director.
More than ever.
Then if it doesn't work out, he can point the finger, because I guarantee you presidents don't want to have that sign that they were the person that hired or fired.
But how does it work on the other side for the coach that Florida might pursue? Is it a detriment if you don't know who the next president is, in your opinion?
Yeah, no question, because the ultimate whoever is the president is the ultimate boss. So that'll be a question, and whether this gentleman will become the permanent president, I don't know. But that is
it doesn't seem like that's where it's headed.
Yeah, I just don't know enough about that. But alignment, and you hear about coaches talk about this all the time, alignment between the coaches, the athletic staff, and the president's staff. If you're not all on the same page, you can be good. I just don't think you can be great.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if in another circumstances where you're not sure whether to keep the coach, and you're not sure whether not to, and you're in between, and it's a new story developing, and it hasn't had time really to ferment yet, then I would think having an interim president would stall the process, which might have been the case even a year ago. I don't think that's where they are now.
I don't think that's going to stop.
Yeah.
That's not going to save Napier.
Yeah, but
my point is, does it take some guys off your board that maybe you'd like to hire as your coach, but they're like, well, I'm not going to go. It'd be like an NFL. It'd be like an NFL coach not knowing who the owner is going to be.
So is the guy
the team?
So is the coach less likely to take the job because he doesn't know who the school president's going to be? That would surprise me. That's a good question. That would surprise me too, given all of this. But so let me ask you this, and this is a hard question for you because I know you're still in the industry. It's not like you're a retired analyst that can say whatever you want. Do you think Billy Napier will be the coach when Georgia and Jacksonville meet here?
I do.
You do?
I just don't know who's there to take over, because that's another thing you've got those kids obviously love their coach.
Yeah, no question.
So what good does it get you? I mean, do you get start? People say, well, you get a start on the selection process, or you're going through that right now, regardless. I mean, it'd be kind of difficult to talk to people, but I want to get back to the alignment piece. You may want a coach from School A that has everything in place, a relationship with an athletic director. He's making good money. He's got a great president that's involved in athletics. It's tough to drag people away from that if you don't, the unknown. So don't lose sight of that somebody that's coming from a great environment may not want to change things for a job to where money's the same. I mean, unless a coach really wants to challenge, because the money's going to be the same. What's the difference? 10 and 15 million. What's the difference?
Yeah, and to what you said, we haven't gotten to it yet, but Hayes and I both watched that. I know you watched and I did too. The Lane Kiffin documentary last night, The Many Lives of Lane Kiffin. Well, what you just described is exactly what happened a year ago. Now, obviously, the big part of the story is his daughter didn't want him to leave and did the video. But the bigger picture was he loved the situation at Ole Miss, including family. Yeah. Auburn, he wasn't sure what he was getting into, so he didn't go. And I didn't realize until the documentary last night, Hayes, that he actually had the offer.
Right.
I knew they talked about it, but he made it pretty clear. The documentary made it pretty clear. Auburn offered him the job, and he said no.
And gave him 7 days.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. That was really interesting. I was surprised he came. If I was Lane Kiffin last year, I wouldn't have even paid attention to Auburn. Yeah. I would have stayed at Ole Miss. But the Florida job, not to disparage Auburn, it's a great program. Right. But Florida's a little different, I think, than Auburn.
Yeah, but I think he can win it all at Ole Miss. I really do.
I don't think he can.
Look how he's recruiting. I mean, he's got that pretty well locked in. So I think it's more difficult at Florida. I do. I think it's more difficult at Florida. Ole Miss, I mean, let's just say he stumps his toe. They're going to be so proud to have him associated with his program. So, nothing surprises you nowadays, but it just depends on what's important to that coach. And like you said, family was the deciding factor at the Auburn, and he'd be gone. Yeah. So you just don't know what makes a coach tick. You better put your finger on it early so you're not wasting time.
Interesting take. Final thing or two before we let you go. As you watch these teams in the SEC, or all the teams, I've thought about this. I haven't watched Oregon. I've watched Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State and the other team. I haven't watched Oregon. But so they're I don't have an opinion on them yet. And they may be really good. But other than that, I think Tennessee and Georgia are as good as any teams I've seen. Do you agree with that? I mean, I think Tennessee and Georgia, if Tennessee and Georgia played for the national title in January, would not surprise me.
From what I've seen, yeah. That's right. It'll be interesting to see the ratings because Penn State, Oregon goes head-to-head with Georgia, Alabama. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see how the ratings go that night. But what a blockbuster. I mean, you can start watching sports 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday morning and not leave the couch until 1 or 2 in the morning if you're watching sports all day. So
I'll be on a plane for 6 hours. So I promise.
Are we going to win the Ryder Cup?
I don't know, man. Yeah. I tell you, the Euros. They always have the right mojo coming in, and it was great to hear Rory McIlroy talk about America and USA Today. I hope that wins a few claps. Mm-hmm. I doubt it from the New York crowd, but it's good to hear someone else's perspective coming in. That like you said, his wife's an American citizen and their child is an American citizen. But I think it'll be interesting to see what's said, not only inside the ropes but outside the ropes.
Give me 2 teams from each conference that make sense for the Gator Bowl right now. 2 or 3, right where we sit today.
Georgia Tech, Auburn.
Okay,
I'd love that,
and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
he never ducks these questions. I love that about you. You don't talk through it. You give wouldn't we love that? That, by the way, would be a fantastic Gator Bowl. It really would.
People could drive too.
Greg McGarity, the executive director of the Gator Bowl. Great work. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, guys.
All right, when we come back, we're going to hear from the Jaguars center. Hayes caught up with Robert Hainsey. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Folks, are you looking for a better used car shopping experience? Well, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Now, with Car Bravo and Nimnik, you'll save big and drive home with a smile. Nimnik Buick GMC can certify all makes and models. That means Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Are you trading in your old vehicle? Well, don't forget, who gives you more top dollar for your trade? Nobody but Nimnik. So shop online at nimnikbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off of Phillips Highway. And remember, there's a lot of ways to get used cars, but there's no better way than to do it with Car Bravo, and Nimnik is the place to get your Car Bravo car for you. Head there today. All makes and models. They've got them all, and they've got them at Nimnik. So what's the best place to get cars, trucks, SUVs? Well, that's easy. Nobody but Nimnik.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like a millionaire margarita, spicy guavarita, old-fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Get ready. Monday Night Football is coming to Everbank Stadium October 6th. And this is a matchup you won't want to miss. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are throwing it back in their Prowler jersey as they take on the Kansas City Chiefs under the primetime lights. Don't wait. Be a part of the action. Get your tickets now by visiting us online at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at the bank for primetime football.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We thank our friends from Stanley Pools. Talked to Greg Stanley yesterday. They do such a good job. I needed a little work done on our pavers. He sent someone out immediately, and they did a great job. They service your pool. They service your backyard pavers, the whole bit. They've built our pool, our pavers, our pergolas. They're just so good at the job. And so you want someone you can trust in the pool business, 269-7277 or 904-269-7277. That's the number for my friends at Stanley Pools. Jags and 49ers come up. Huge opportunity, Hayes, for the Jaguars. I mean, huge opportunity if they can win the game. And I would think we've learned early on. I think we've learned. I guess it's only been 3 games. We haven't learned everything. But if they're going to be who they are, they're going to run the football. And that starts with that offensive front, doesn't it?
Without a doubt. And again, the Jaguars are doing a magnificent job in both categories. They're fourth in the league in rushing, over 141 yards a game. They're also second in the league in sacks allowed percentage. So they're keeping the quarterback upright. And certainly Trevor and everybody at LaQuinn Allen deserves credit without Brenton Strange. But you start with the offensive line, certainly when you look at a low sack number. So low sack number and incredible rushing output. Yeah, your offensive line is clicking. And I was surprised that they were able to gel this quickly. And I think Robert Hainsey has been a big, big part of that.
No question. The center who leads the pack on that offensive line for the Jaguars, the subject of this Hayes Carline one-on-one.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
All right, we're pleased to be joined with Jaguar center Robert Hainsey on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. What a start to the season. You guys are running the ball great, protecting great. What's been standing out to you, Robert?
I think just our process has been solid. I think we're continually trying to get better at things. No matter where you're at, and every team in the league has things they're working on right now. Every player has things they're working on. Just sticking to that process, trying to improve those little things that will add up over time.
Liam was telling us last year in Tampa when he was coordinator, it took a while for it to click. It seems like you guys are ahead of schedule in terms of that. Are you happy with the progress that you guys have made as a unit overall?
Yeah, definitely happy with the progress. Last year was interesting because we started 3-1, went to the bye at 4-6. So obviously a hard stretch. You never know when that adversity is going to come. And the things that what's going to get you through that is the type of people you have and the culture you have. Because every team's going to face some at some point or another. And for instance, last year, go 1-5 over 6 weeks. I mean, that's hard. That's hard to really stay together. And whatever that adversity looks like, whatever it may be, this team is being built to stay together and to lean on each other. That's going to be incredibly important down the stretch as we continue to grow and get better.
How much does it help you that you guys went against the 49ers last season? I know Liam said today, we scored 20 points, but we were down. Mike didn't play. Godwin didn't play. The receivers were really limited. But how much, from your perspective, does it help that, I know it's a new coordinator in Saleh, but does it help at all that you at least, saw kind of how Liam attacked them last year?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I've played this team. I feel like I've played the 49ers a bunch of years. I played them in 22, maybe again in 23, and then we played them last year. So I'm familiar with their style, and then also coming off playing the Texans, it's very similar. So it's kind of nice to have these games back to back to be able to look at that film and see how are we going to adjust this week going into it.
Are you happy with how the unit is gelled so far? Offensive line?
Yeah, I think as an offensive line, we're really close. We have a really good group of guys who everyone cares a lot, care about the product, care about each other, want to play for each other and the rest of the team. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know this group and grow together.
You've obviously been a huge addition, not just from your play, but from a leadership standpoint. What did it mean to you to be a captain?
There's a tremendous honor. Honestly, I felt that way. I was voted captain at Notre Dame, and that was one of the best honors of my life, and this is up there with that, if not above it, because to be able to come here after my last 4 years, and I've had ups and downs, and just Liam and Tony and James give me the opportunity to come in here and just be myself, to have that ability, and to just be with this group of guys, see how we can grow together, and for them to put their trust in me to lead them, that means a ton.
There's been so many great individual success stories so far on that offensive line. Anton Harrison really seems like he's found a groove. What are you seeing out of that young man?
I think Anton's done really well. I think he's continuing to grow. I think he's an unbelievably talented player, and his knowledge of the game is very high. Honestly, being in this offense last year previously, I was interested to see how everyone kind of adapted to it, because I got lucky. I got to stay in the same system, which was great for me, and I think I was able to help guys too come along and learning it. So everyone, there's a lot of nuances to this offense, and everyone has their different processes. So seeing all the guys, not just Anton, but kind of make it their own, has been really cool.
In terms of Fred Warner, what stands out when you watch him on film, and is he a guy that you've got to identify, pretty much immediately to kind of figure out what they're trying to do with him?
What stands out for sure is just his ability. I mean, his effort and his talent. better than most, if not number one. The way he flies around, his speed, and the way he tracks the ball from side to side, he wants to see where the ball's going. He's not flying downhill as much as these guys we played last week. He's keeping things in front of him, and he has the ability to do that. So it's not so much of like where is he at, but when he's part of our responsibility, it's making sure we're on him.
How exciting is it? This is a game that the league's paying attention to. I mean, in 2-1 versus 3-0, how exciting is it early in the build to be playing a game of this magnitude? I get it. It's AFC versus NFC, and it doesn't affect the tiebreakers as much. But in terms of winning records, it's a big game.
Certainly. I think it kind of goes back to what I said last week. You guys asked about like playing the Texans division game and stuff, and like, yeah, they're all so important. It's nothing changes on what we do. It's how can we improve? How are we going to attack these guys? How are we going to go in there and get the win, no matter what? It's really continuing to put yourself in opportunities to play in the games like this, where people are talking about that. That's great because you want to be in a spot where people are like, hey, we got the Jags coming to town. To us, doesn't really matter, you know?
Yeah. Robert Hainsey, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Best of luck to you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's been a fantastic addition, one of many first-year Jaguars that have really made a tremendous impact in September, and hopefully that will continue on.
Boy, can the Jags make a statement. We'll talk more about this later, and then, of course, tomorrow. What a statement they could make. Go to that stadium, to that heritage team, that logo, and come back 3-1, waiting on the Chiefs to get here. Boy, could you make a statement in that game. No question about it. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Looking out over that Golden Gate Bridge. It's a gold rush to the Golden Gate. Duval Pride takes a long ride to the Golden State. Let's go! Jaguars, 49ers. It's a make-a-statement kind of game. Sunday at 4 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
Hey Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Looking for a brand new truck? Right now, Crew Cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty and no extra cost. From tough Ram trucks to adventure-ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Food that's good for you can taste good too. Flame Broiler has protein-packed bowls to fuel your day. Introducing their new chicken avocado salad bowl, made with romaine lettuce, rice, cabbage salad, and topped with a delicious house sesame dressing. It's a bowl full of goodness. Eat in, take out, or catered. Flame Broiler is easy to enjoy. Come in Monday through Sunday for happy hour 2 to 5 p.m. for a chicken mini bowl and drink for $6.95 plus tax. 5 area Flame Broilers to serve you.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Hayes blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium Swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
Looking for a vacation from the ordinary?
Celebrate the end of summer at Tobacco Cove. Join us Saturday, September 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. for a sensory getaway with Espinosa's Cigars. Discover exceptional cigars, delicious food, and your chance to win awesome prizes. Tobacco Cove at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. It's more than a cigar store, it's an experience. Don't miss out. Your escape awaits.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Swing for the future of veterans and military spouses at Operation New Uniform's second annual Patriot Games Golf Tournament. I'm Michelle McManaman.
And I'm Pete Langlois. Join us Monday, October 6th. Register today at onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars-49ers game on Sunday. What an opportunity for Trevor Lawrence. How big is this game, in your opinion, for the Jaguars franchise quarterback?
Well, every game now is big for him because, look, there's doubts out there about him. We've heard him. You've heard him in the national landscape. Right now he's got 4 touchdowns, but he also has 4 picks. But the bottom line is winning. He was the first overall pick. He was believed to be a generational guy at some point in his career. Every time you start winning, people start believing that more and more. You get to 3-1 against a team like this. I think it's gigantic. So I said a moment ago, it's gigantic for the perception of the Jaguars overall, but by extension, Hayes, truly, truly big for the perception of the quarterback. This is a big game, man. I know it's only 4 games in, but everyone's trying to figure out who's good. They're starting to assimilate their power polls now, and you can make a real statement here.
Without a doubt, offensive coordinator Grant Udisky met with reporters earlier today and talked about getting the passing game in a rhythm.
Yeah, a lot of that's on us as coaches putting together a plan first and foremost that gets guys touches, gets easy completion, gets guys in space for run after the catch. So getting those things from the beginning of the game all the way throughout third quarter into the end of the game creates that progression for guys to settle in and then have success as the game goes on. So it starts with the plan, and then it's the guys' mastery of the plan and going out and executing it really is the key to be able to get that thing to progress.
Look, a big part of this offensive plan, let's be honest, in the passing game in a rhythm, Hayes, is, in fairness to Trevor Lawrence on this, he's got 3 starting receivers. De'Ami Brown may or may not play. They haven't announced, and who knows? He was banged up a little bit, left the game. The two of the other starters, or 2 of the other key 4 guys, I should say, Parker Washington last week, Brian Thomas Jr. 2 weeks, have been dropping passes. So you got one guy who might not play who dropped a touchdown pass. You have 2 other guys who dropped passes last week. We haven't even gotten to week 4 yet. And De'Ami Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., and Parker Washington all have very memorable drops. That's 3 guys of your top 4 that have very memorable drops, and we haven't gotten to the 4th game yet. So, in fairness to Trevor, they got to help him too.
Yeah, they got to get better, no doubt about it. Let's get it to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile met with reporters as well and talked about what Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker have brought to the defense.
Gives you more options, obviously, with their ability, their athleticism. But I think it's just more. They've been working so hard during the practices, and that's showing up in the games. And I think when your hardest workers, or some of your best players are your hardest workers, that's a real positive for everybody overall in the defense. So, but it definitely gives you more options in terms of coverage.
I can tell you this, Hayes. I told you before the season they had 6 spots that I felt very good about in the second on the defense. Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker, the pass rushers. Foye Luakin, the middle linebacker. Tyson Campbell and Jordan Lewis, 2 cornerbacks, and Eric Murray, the safety. Remember, we had that conversation before the season. I said, those 6 guys I feel really good about. Boy, have those 6 guys played well. Every one of them have played well. And then you add Dewey to it, who's played well. You add Devin Lloyd, who's playing the best football of his Jacksonville career. Those defensive guys, I just ran through 8 of them. Those defensive guys have really stepped up and played well for the Jaguars. That's been what a positive, I won't say surprise, but what a nice treat that's been for the Jaguars to have a lot of defensive playmakers play really well this early in the year.
Without a doubt, we talk about it every week, but you got to watch Sounds of the Game this week.
Wasn't it good?
If you're a Jags fan, yeah, it is magnificent. It's amazing the footage they get. The other thing that stood out to me, Frank, is the encouragement of players to their teammates. That really seems like it's resonating with this group under Liam Cohen's direction. But you saw Trayvon Walker make a play, and he immediately says, "Devin, you started that. That was you." De'Ami Brown, saying to BTJ, this is because of you after ETN scores. Like, I was really encouraged by the positive audio from the sideline that Sounds of the Game provides the fans.
They do the digital team does such a good job getting access, and credit Liam Cohen with that. Having in the front office, Tony and James, all of them. The Sound of the Game staff really does such a good job. That's 20 minutes of your week that you can relive a game and really the story of the game, not just, a lot of teams just do highlights. They do way more than highlights. You can relive the story of the game. They tell a great story. They're like little movies, like 20-minute movies, and they do a great job of that. In addition to that, to your point, they get such great access that it shows you the culture we've been hearing about. You can hear about how the culture is better, and the culture in the building is really good. Well, Sounds of the Game shows you why. That's your point. That's what's so good about that Sounds of the Game that the Jaguars do, is it shows you that culture we've all been talking about. The Liam post games have been great. They get all of that on camera. It's only been 3 games in, but it's been a fun ride on the whole all the way around. And I agree with you. The Sounds of the Game really tell the story.
Absolutely. Let's get it to around the NFL. Week 4 starts tonight with a matchup of 2-1 teams as the Seahawks play at the Cardinals. This one takes on some extra interest because the Jaguars play both of these teams down the road.
You're right. I watched the Cardinals almost beat the 49ers last week. Probably should have. Still not sure what to think of them. I think Seattle's pretty good. So I think it'll be interesting to learn more about both teams. I agree with you.
Let's get to college football. ESPN debuted their Lane Kiffin documentary, The Many Lives of Lane Kiffin. I thought it was sensational. If you're a college football fan, I think you'll enjoy it. I absolutely think you should watch it if you're a Florida fan. And I mean, I was already very high on Lane Kiffin prior to this, but in watching it just re-emphasizes to me, shame on the Gators if he's not one of the primary targets in this coaching search. I'm not saying it's Lane or bust, but he should absolutely be very, very high in terms of a priority target.
What I really love, the documentary is about an hour. It's really good. What I really loved about it is watching him go through all the machinations and stages of his life and how he grew. That's the story, by the way. The story of the documentary is how he grew.
It's so funny. They'll put up like job 7.
Yeah, right. But how he went from, and I love what he said. He said, look, I was a cocky young guy. I wanted a statue. I wanted them to say, look, the youngest guy to ever do this, the youngest guy to ever accomplish that. And he said, and then I realized that's not really what it's about. And he said something else I really liked. He said, and again, this talks to his spirituality, and it probably matches mine, which is why it resonated with me. But he said, every time I try and do something myself, instead of trusting God, I mess it up, and then I lean back on Him. Well, that's a religious comment. You don't have to be connected to the religious comment if you don't want. But the point that I'm making is the humility that he seems to have developed. He turned down a job because he wanted to be with his family. In the past, he said he wasn't around his family nearly enough because he was chasing jobs. And I just thought it was, I thought the humility that I think he found is was really cool. I really, really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Let's get to Major League Baseball. Pittsburgh ace Paul Skeens shines in his final start to become the first pitcher in 7 years to finish the season with a sub-2 ERA. Skeens worked 6 innings of shutout ball to power his ERA to 1.97.
1.97 to pitch that many innings. He's 10-10. And I'm convinced he's going to win the Cy Young. Do you think so, JJ? You convinced?
Oh yeah, I honestly don't even know who's second. I knew right when, I think it was in June, when Sale went down for about a month. I was like, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's over.
And when Wheeler went down too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 10-10. Yeah, I told you this last night. Hayes and I were texting last night. He's one of the best starting pitchers in my lifetime. Now, there's a lot on that list. There's Pedro on that list, and Roger Clemens on that list, and old timers like Koufax and Bob Gibson on the list, and Tom Seaver on the list. It's a big list. But he's on. I can now say his name in the company with, in my opinion, with Seaver, Koufax, Gibson, Maddox, Pedro, Clemens. I
want to see him do it longer.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, like DeGrom was up there. There's guys like
fair
that.
Point.
But for right now to start a career, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Strasburg, maybe. I think he's even better than Strasburg was to start out.
And your point's good. It's only been 2 years. That's a fair. But for me, and I'm biased because it's my team, and I admit that. But for me, he's so dominating.
And he was so good last night.
So good.
And Livy Dunn was in attendance. So it was just a great watch.
She looked nervous, dude.
She did.
I mean, she was very nervous.
Because, of course, he was getting 0 run support.
Yeah,
Once again, he got like 2 runs.
Yeah, and I was, and then, by the way, I'm the only guy in America that was as locked in on Schemes pitching as I was when they did the cutaways to Livy Dunn. Just so you know that. Okay, that's how much I love Schemes.
Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh hits his 60th home run of the season, the 4th player in AL history to achieve the feat. As Seattle clinches the AL West with a 9-2 victory over Colorado, the Mariners had not won the division in 24 years.
He hit 60 home runs while catching, squatting, blocking, putting gear on and off, taking balls off the forearm that he had to block to prevent runners from advancing, throwing out runners, throwing behind runners, blocking the plate.
Calling a game,
and hit 60 home runs. The former Seminole has been spectacular.
Cleveland was 15 and a half games back in July, but have overtaken the Tigers in the AL Central with a 5-1 victory last night. The Guardians are 17-2 in their last 19 games, while the Tigers have lost 8 straight.
It's amazing. That's one of the most amazing collapses and emergences, JJ, I can ever remember.
A couple years ago, the Mets and the Braves had one, but this was that was over a longer period of time. I feel like this is just insane for them to both go on a run like this. And I watched most of that game last night. The Tigers look helpless. They're like throwing the ball all over the place. They're walking in runs. Like, it's over for them. It's crazy. Obviously, they'll still get a wild card, but I mean, how can you limp into the playoffs and expect them to do anything?
Without a doubt, the Jumbo Shrimp play a deciding Game 3 tonight at home at 7:05.
Yeah,
so if you're looking for a game, go watch the Jumbo Shrimp.
Good for them. What a great year. Congratulations to Ken Babby and Harold Craw. Whatever happens tonight, go watch the Jumbo Shrimp play. They've had a magnificent season in their beautifully renovated ballpark, and I can't tip my cap enough to Ken, to Harold, and everybody with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Absolutely. Let's get it to pop culture, because on this date, back in 1964, this happened. The Munsters.
Wow.
Debuts in 1964. Lasted for 2 seasons with 70 episodes, but found more success in syndication.
I watched it.
It was great.
I mean, I'm old. I'm honest enough to admit I was like 6 years old, and I watched the Munsters. Love the Munsters.
I love
Who
the
didn't
Munsters.
love the Munsters?
Yeah, they were on when I was a kid every day. I loved it. And we will get you out on our musical note of the day, because on this date, back in 1991, Nirvana releases Nevermind, one of the last great rock albums of any consequence, and one of the best-selling albums of all time with over 30 million copies sold. Obviously, this album has Smells Like Teen Spirit on it. That is the anthem, but I thought we'd change it up and play another great song from Nevermind. This is Lithium.
Great album. And you're right, one of the last real rock bands. Is that right? Green Day, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. The last real rock band, really.
Yeah.
Rock bands, the way we understand what rock bands are, the last group of rock bands. You're exactly right. Well done as always. Back in a moment with hour number 2. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
With so many stars on the field, there's always one that burns brightest.
And when he flashes, he is something to watch.
Who will be this week's Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game?
Watch out!
On 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise, free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter. And you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barra here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barrier Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarrierOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barrier Orthopedics.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Are you nuts?
What?
641-1010.
That's crazy.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res. Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
In a world where chains seem to take over, it's awesome to have a locally owned retailer who's only focused on Jacksonville. Beards Diamonds, perfect example. Hicken here. You know all those other jewelers in the town center are owned by big Wall Street companies. But Beards Diamonds, they're local, man. They've been serving our area for over 40 years. Say hi to the Lupos when you go in there. The money you spend at Beards, it stays right here. And they run circles around the big chains. Massive diamond inventory, Beards. All the top bridal brands like Decory and Viraggio, Beards. The strongest warranties, and if you ever had an issue, you deal directly with the owner, Beards. Beards wins on price every day. They don't have extra markups to please Wall Street or pay commission salespeople. In fact, Beards guarantees to beat any national chain store on price. Don't buy anywhere until you get a second opinion at Beards. I'm sure you'll get a bigger, better quality diamond for your money, and it'll be backed by local folks with integrity and local accountability. Don't buy a diamond in Jacksonville without seeing your best option at Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop right now. At Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in at a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. So start now by calling 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLS, consumeraccess.org.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. An update out of the Florida Gators football program. Starting cornerback Dijon Johnson is set to miss the remainder of the season after suffering a knee injury, which will require surgery. The Jaguars will face an injured 49ers team this Sunday at 4:05 in San Fran with 1010XL 92.5 FM bringing you coverage of the game. It's 91 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
I think the Jaguars have an excellent chance to beat the 49ers in San Francisco on Sunday, but one element of this game that does give me pause is Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator for San Francisco. Shanahan's obviously the head coach, going against Liam Cohen and Anthony Campanile. And this is what concerns me, because the number that really stands out for the 49ers in this game is on third down on both sides of the ball. For all the flaws that the 49ers have, for all the injuries that they've had to endure, on offense, they are good on third down. They convert 43.6% of the time. Conversely, defensively, San Francisco stops its opponents or only allows them to convert 33.3% of the time. So they're basically plus 10. That's a very healthy percentage, and it speaks to the acumen of the 49ers coaching staff. For all the good the Jaguars have done, and we've pointed out that they are doing a fantastic job in rush yardage, sacks allowed, takeaways, lots to be proud of. But on third down, they are struggling. They're 37.5% on third down, giving up 41%. So they're minus 3.5 there. So you're going on the road against a team that has been plus 10 on third down conversion. That's going to be a critical piece to this game for the Jaguars.
Yeah, and I think to do that, certainly on offensively, the best way to manage third down is have manageable third downs. So that's what you have to do. As for
a lot of that's the illegal shifts and the drops, and that all hurts the Jaguars' offensive third down number.
And that's what they've got to get under control. They've got to get the shifts because they're barely doing it. It's not like there's. I mean, it's a point of emphasis with the NFL this year, and it's a lot of stuff that over the years would not have been called. Guys would have been set. They're set almost long enough. And so, but you got to get that under control. But I will say this about that game. I've said it all along. I'll say it one more time. It's only been 3 games, but you get a sense around here that these are different Jaguars. You get a sense around here that there's something different about them, that there's something different about the way they go about their business, that they overcome adversity. Look, I'm not sure by what their standards will be, Hayes. I'm not sure they've played well yet. That's the thing. They're 2-1, and I don't think you've seen their A game. I mean, in any of the games. I mean, the reality is, against Cincinnati, they dropped 2 critical throws at the end of the game, and if they don't, they win the game. Against Houston, they had huge drops toward the end of the game and overcame it and won the game. Against Carolina, they were okay. It was clunky a little. I mean, they won comfortably, but I don't think you see my point. I don't think in any of those games, wow, they played great. I don't think we've seen played great yet.
We haven't.
And I mean as great as they can.
We've seen solid B.
Yeah,
but
right.
we haven't seen the A game.
We haven't seen what I think is their A game.
I totally agree.
And so I think that's what's encouraging to me is go out to San Francisco and play your best game of the year. You're going to win the game. I also think this. I said it. I'm going to expound on something I said yesterday. Too many times in these 31 years there's been a franchise here, and certainly in my 12 years of calling the games, too many times there have been games you're excited because you're always excited. You only get to play. You only get 17 of them, so you're always excited when one's coming up. But there's been too many of them that the public, the media, kind of us, have thought, well, it's exciting we have this game, but I don't think there's much chance we're going to win. You know what I mean? It's probably not going to go very well. Well, I told you yesterday, I think that day's over. That doesn't mean they're going to start winning them all. And if they lose 4 in a row, then maybe it'll come back. But I think the fear that, what's the point, we're going to lose, I think that's gone for now. Well, I think it's really gone in that building, too. I'll bet you the Jaguars, to a man, believe they're going to go beat the 49ers. Now, everybody always would say that over the years. I don't care how bad you are. You go ask a team, they're all going to say they think they're going to win. But you don't know how much you really bought it. You with me on that? I think now, I really believe now, there's a level of confidence. I won't say swagger yet, but there's a level of confidence. And I'll say one more thing before we break. Then I'll say hello to Lee Smith, Talk Ryder Cup. The guy that has been such a gigantic part of all this, leadership, playing, how he plays, maybe their best player right now. Now, Josh Hines-Allen might be their best player right now, but the guy that certainly, Jordan Lewis, has been such a gigantic part of this. He already has 2 interceptions. He already has, he's tied for the league lead in interceptions and leads the league in deflections. I had no idea he was that good. And I'm told he's also one of their best leaders. He's the guy that gets them together. If they have a bad practice, he's the one that rounds them all up. If they're sulking on the sideline, he's the one that picks them up. I had no idea number 2 would be all that. I had no idea.
He's been phenomenal. And again, you have to credit James Gladstone, because this free agent class is really doing some magnificent things. And it wasn't like they went out and spent crazy money. I mean, their free agent plan was sort of, let's get some B-level, guys in here. But they have worked out. I mean, we talked about Robert Hainsey earlier in the show. Jordan Lewis has been unbelievable. Brown's done some good things for him. I'm leaving guys out, but to your point about Jordan Lewis, he has been exceptional. And the other thing too is they have brought in they needed some veteran leaders. I just don't think they've had strong veteran leadership here. They've had other issues, and maybe because of a lack of a strong coach, they were less inclined to offer leadership. I don't know. I'm not saying Brandon Sheriff, Mitch Morris were bad leaders or bad people. I just think they sort of went about their business, and they did their business as a pro, but I don't know that they were galvanizing factors. And it does feel like on both sides of the ball, James Gladstone in one offseason has brought those kind of guys in.
Let's take a break. Let's get into golf. The Ryder Cup right around the corner. A live report from Bethpage Black from our golf analyst, Lee Smith, after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is the game right here. If they're able to make a play.
It's the top of the highlight reel.
What a play!
The Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game on 1010XL. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Hey folks, it's Frangie for Lee and Kate's class, and I think you deserve a spa-like shower, don't you? Get rid of that dirty, dated setup you have in your bathroom. Those old-style showers can be really ugly. Install a gorgeous frameless shower with thick, sexy glass and a free diamond coating protection that's easier to clean, like Rain-X for your shower. Your bathroom will feel like a luxury spa every morning and night. You deserve it. Visit my friends at leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Kathy Scott in Jacksonville at 904-730-3665.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
It's more than 100 yards of grass. It's 100 years of tradition.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
To get this thing unwrapped here. Duval! Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daly's Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daly's Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me, if you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z, the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Celebrating 30 years in Jack's Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is your go-to for cash on the spot. They buy gold. Huge sale on firearms all month. Save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday with no sales tax on firearms. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
It's your go-to for golf talk. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
All we need to do is develop the rest of your game. Then you'll be unstoppable, son.
Get local updates, gear reviews, and all things golf talk. Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Keep an eye on this one.
Presented by Sunshine Turf, the highest quality artificial turf at affordable prices.
And you really can afford it, my friends, at Sunshine Turf. You call them at 904-383-0243. Whether it's a putting green in your backyard, boy, people in my neighborhood are all doing that now. You can really afford that. You'll love it. Whether it's a turf for your playground, whether it's something for your school that you're involved in, nobody does a better job. Sunshine Turf, the name's gotten around now. SunshineTurf.info, or call them at 904-383-0243. My friend Lee Smith is the executive director of the Players Championship and also our golf analyst, and he is on location at Bethpage Black. Lee, welcome aboard. Give me a little bit of lay of the land. What's the weather like? And what's going on up there?
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, Frank. But back in the hotel, lots of rain today. So certainly looking forward to drying out a little tomorrow. I think the golf course is going to be soaked. Going to be a tough walk around the golf course, but I think for the fans watching on TV, we're going to see a lot of birdies tomorrow. It's going to be soft and take dead aim. I think the greens are somewhat benign here. They're not crazy, kind of easy to read. So I think we'll see a lot of putts go in, a lot of close shots, lots of birdies, lots of winning holes.
Give people an idea of what kind of a course they're going to see. If you haven't watched one of the Opens at Bethpage Black, water, sand, is it hilly? What are people going to see when they turn on the TV tomorrow, Lee?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think it's going to play a little bit different than maybe anybody that remembers it from hosting U.S. Opens and major championships, because of what we've talked about the last 2 weeks of the United States team and especially the captain kind of having control over how the golf course plays and really the agronomic procedures that go into preparing it. The rough is down significantly from what you might have seen during a U.S. Open or a major championship here. So Certainly fairways will be at a premium as soft as the golf course is going to play. I think there's not going to be as many balls bouncing into the rough. They're going to, stay in the fairways. But even, it's going to be kind of that prototypical. A long one in the rough is probably going to be more valuable than a short one in the fairway, just because the rough is not overly penal as it surrounds the fairways. Now, around the greens, the rough's a little bit taller, maybe up into the 3, 4, 5 inch range. So short game shots will be a little bit tougher. For most of the golf course, it's relatively flat. There is a little bit, kind of uphill shots and downhill shots that you'll see on number 1 tee is kind of at the top of the hill, and you play down the hill. Number 15 is probably one of the toughest holes on the golf course, a dog leg left that probably plays 10 to 15 yards uphill on the second shot. Not an overly long golf course, Frank. I mean, I think it'll stretch out to 73 or 7,400 yards, but nothing, super crazy. And again, I think with the conditions that we see tomorrow, lots of straight putts, relatively flat greens, I think we'll see a lot of good golf.
Who do you give the advantage to?
Well, like anything, I mean, I know you and I are betting, Hayes, so I'm certainly going to say the U.S. team. But, yeah, I think ultimately when you have a little bit of a home field advantage, home crowd advantage, I think there is a little bit of an advantage there. I think when you then add on being able to shape the golf course and prepare the golf course for the team that you have and their strengths, I think that provides a little bit of an advantage. But I think ultimately that might be somewhat canceled out because I think if you look back, I heard or read an article about it. I think maybe the European team actually has more reps on this golf course than even the U.S. team has, just based on their experience and some of the tournaments that have been played there in the past. And then certainly they're much more experienced with 11 out of their 12 players, coming back from a Ryder Cup of 2 years ago. So, I think no matter what the odds makers say, I think it's relatively even overall, but certainly I'm going to hedge towards the U.S. with the home court advantage.
Yeah, and I mean I'm pulling obviously for the U.S. too. I'm not pulling for Europe. But in terms of I was surprised that the odds makers have the U.S. favored, but I guess that's just the home the home course advantage.
I think that's the home course advantage, and I think that comes just from, the overall, call it world golf rankings advantage, right, which doesn't necessarily always parlay to the golf course. If you remember, what was it, in 2004 maybe when Tiger and Phil play together, the number 1 and 2 player in the world, they should win, and they did the opposite of winning. I think it just takes time. But I think we've also seen, if I remember right, I think didn't we see that maybe the U.S. was up to like a 220 or 240, and then I think even last night it was down to like 150 as their favorite. So I think it's dwindling as the time goes.
Lee, give me a couple guys, maybe a couple on either team, or that could be key here. And obviously the chalk is Scheffler and Rory and Rahm, but I know that. But I mean, are there guys that maybe because of how good they are at match play, how hot they are or aren't? Tommy Fleetwood's awfully hot. Are there guys that we should really watch that might be the keys to helping someone win this thing?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think I would point towards the U.S. team, and I'd probably look at the rookies, okay. Frank, and just say, at the end of the day, when you have, 4 kind of premium rookies that have had such great years with Ben Griffin and Spawn and Henley, and seeing them, they're going to have to win points. There's only certain ways to get to 14.5, right? And those rookies are going to have to win points, and full points will be key. I look at a guy like Ben Griffin, who has won a couple times this year, and hits the ball a long ways, putts it really nicely when he's playing well. JJ Spawn, another one that I think just fits probably so well with anybody in that foursomes format. in that he's going to hit fairways, hit greens, and really could pair him with anybody. And then Russell Henley, because of his experience and more than likely at some point being paired with Scotty Scheffler. I think somebody said this morning when you're paired, you could pair me with Scotty Scheffler, and the fact that he's number one strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approached, number one strokes gained around the green, and has jumped to 18th in putting. Either one of us could get paired with Scotty and probably turn out some points. And then for the European team, I kind of pinpoint guys that, guys maybe like Rahm and Hatton that are fiery guys that would probably be the key to, toning down the New York crowd. If they could go out early and be paired together and win points and get the crowd to kind of, what is a basketball player's dream is to walk into another person's arena and shut them up, right? Wasn't that what Jordan always said? I think somebody like that really is very experienced, very good, and kind of can absorb that crowd energy and get them to be quiet early, I think would certainly be key for a European team.
Lee, in regards to our American team, 2 years ago, the first morning was a disaster. How important is it for Keegan Bradley's squad to at least get some kind of momentum? Maybe not dominate the way Europe did 2 years ago, but 2 years ago it was almost over after day one. How much pressure will be on our American squad tomorrow morning, in your opinion?
No, I think you're exactly right, Hayes. I think it'll be interesting today at 4:00 is when they'll announce the pairings, and for the fans, it's interesting the whichever way you like, but the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup do it differently. At the Ryder Cup, the captains will just present their teams in the order, and whoever gets put up first on one side and who gets put up first on the other side, they obviously are playing against each other. In the President's Cup, one side puts one up, and then the other side puts one up, and then the other side. So you actually match bodies as opposed to to match your entire lineup for the round. So just an interesting way of doing it. But I think the key to what you're talking about is, who does Keegan put out first? And is it these fan favorites, fan activators, and big energy guys like DeChambeau and Justin Thomas and guys like that can maybe get the crowd going, get the team excited, but it's a risk because you don't want to lose that match. You want to put those guys out there to win. So it'll be and certainly do you kind of anchor with Scheffler and a Russell Henley in that foursomes match early in the morning to kind of close it out in your favor. I think it's always interesting to see when the pairings come out, and then you can kind of figure out, this was the strategy on this side. From a European side, I can't imagine them doing much different than what they did in Rome. I mean, their plans worked, their pairings worked. And so it just seems like probably a lot of their work is going to be very similar. So that probably sets up, Keegan to doing something almost like he knows what they're going to put out. What am I going to do to match it?
Final thing, Lee. So what's your day? Will you follow? I know you don't have the groups yet; they haven't been announced. But will you pick a group and follow? Will you be all around? What? I mean, I've never been to a Ryder Cup. It's got to be really cool. What's your plan for your day tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we're going to get there very, very early. I think the first tee time's at 7:10 because they play 36. So they'll play 4 matches in the morning and then 4 matches in the afternoon. So we'll get there relatively early and probably take in the atmosphere. I think one of the great things about the Ryder Cup is just walking around and seeing the outfits and doing a little people watching. It's a sports version of the airport. I would say, Frank, it's you can just sit in a chair and just watch people for a while and absorb the atmosphere. And so we'll do a little bit of that. I'm fortunate to be here, on behalf of our partners at the Players Championship of Optum, and they have a chalet on 16. So I think we'll we'll walk around and see a lot of the play with the group. And then as play gets a little bit closer to those last 3 or 4 holes, we'll probably go into their chalet, watch it on TV, and see them coming down. It's just an awesome atmosphere and one that not just a golf fan, but I think any sports fan, patriot, you name it, that would want to take in someday, whether it's a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup.
All right, well, have a blast. We're going to drag you in here one last time next week to kind of wrap up the golf season in whole, and what a great way to do it with the Ryder Cup. Have a blast up there, man. We'll see you next week.
You got it. I'll send some pictures.
That'll be perfect. Lee Smith checking in, the executive director of the Players Championship and a terrific golf analyst for our program for many years now. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Oh, you know what? You want to give away some tickets? We're talking golf.
Let's do it.
Do you have any golf tickets?
I do. I have a pair of tickets for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to the annual Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament that is coming up October 3rd through the 5th.
How about caller 2?
Let's do it.
Caller 2, 641-1010. You're headed to see the Furyk and Friends, and you're going to have a blast doing it. Call right now, and you're headed out to see a little golf. More in a moment. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Your play-by-play home of Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
The Bulldogs are road dogs as they head to Baldwin Friday night at 6:30 on 1010 AM.
Hey, Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Small business owners need trucks and vans to keep your business moving? Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside has Ram 1500s to heavy-duty 2500s, ProMasters, and custom uplifts ready to work. Visit them on Commonwealth Avenue or go online to jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local partner for work-ready vehicles.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
I sure appreciate my friends from Stanley Pools calling at 904-269-7277. Since 1988, they've been doing it all. And I mean, servicing pools, too. Servicing your pavers, servicing your backyard, rebuilding your backyard, and, of course, those great pools. They figured it out a long time ago, and my friend Greg Stanley still runs that joint, and they do a fantastic job. Whatever it is you need. If you want a pool in this market, and you've heard me say this for enough years, you know by now, Stanley Pools, those are the people to lean on, and certainly the people that we will lean on for sure around here. We get a pool, I promise you that. Hayes Carline is here, JJ LaSelva as well. Florida State, Virginia tomorrow night. We've certainly talked about the significance of that game. It's a good weekend in college football. If you kind of look at the lineup of games in college football, it's kind of one of those days where there's kind of games all day long. You know, I think. And we're talking about national games now, Hayes, not just necessarily regional games, but I think LSU Ole Miss is significant. Georgia Alabama is obviously significant. It's top to bottom a pretty good Saturday of college football.
It really is. It's going to be exciting. I'm kind of excited about USC at Illinois at noon, just because
Me too.
You know, Lincoln Riley, is it going to work there? It seems like USC is maybe starting to find its footing under Lincoln Riley. But you heard whispers that this could be his last year there. Illinois is coming off that just embarrassing loss to Indiana. So that gets you started at noon. Notre Dame, Arkansas is at noon. The noon slate, I think, has been fairly disappointing this year outside of Texas, Ohio State to kick things off. So it'll be good to have a good noon block. And then, like you mentioned, the afternoon and the prime time is exquisite.
Yeah, how about this? LSU, if you're an SEC fan, LSU is at Ole Miss on ABC at the exact same time, Hayes, that Auburn is at A&M on ESPN. And you don't see that very often.
You don't.
I mean, those two games are literally head-to-head. Two SEC, when there's so many.
Tennessee, Mississippi State's at 4:15 on the SEC network.
Yeah, so by 4:15, they're all three going. Yeah.
I'll be surprised if that one's close.
Me too. But the fact that Mississippi State is unbeaten.
But your point's a good one. You got to at least peek at it and make sure.
Yeah, that's right.
You know that Tennessee doesn't run away with it.
Oh, no question. Okay, I'll probably be. My guess is I'll be over Arkansas by then, like right over Little Rock. Okay. On my way, not quite to El Paso.
Watching the game from above.
Yeah, I'll be watching. Yeah. I'll be watching the game. I'll be between Little Rock and El Paso.
Yeah,
is my guess when that thing kicks off.
Who does Long Island play on Saturday? Because that's the only team I can watch and point and make fun of.
You know, the noon window, you were saying it's been kind of crappy this year. I agree, but it's sort of become like the who's Clemson going to lose to this week window.
Yeah, good point.
So that's been pretty exciting the last couple of weeks.
That is rough but funny and accurate. But it really is. And at 7:30, two 7:30 games. Oregon is at Penn State, while Alabama is at Georgia.
Yeah. And look, Kentucky at South Carolina isn't a great game. It's
they're you guys' two main rivals.
But yeah, exactly. But but that is sort of a little bit of a loser leaves town. I mean, whoever loses that game, that's particularly if it's South Carolina. Yeah. I mean, they for a season where they were just a couple weeks ago ranked like 12th in the country. You know, that would be a really tough one there. So,
by the way, LIU's got the Stonehill Skyhawks Saturday at 1.
Well, I'll be locked in because that's the only way I can feel good about my team.
2 1-3 teams, and if you Google them both, they don't have a logo.
Let me just tell you this, though. Maybe you didn't notice or not.
Yeah, we don't beat teams with logos. If you've got a logo, Gators aren't getting you.
But when Stonehill and Long Island get together, they throw the records out the window. You know that, right? I mean, that's
WB Mason Stadium. Yeah.
Do you
Seats 2,400, by the way, in Easton, Massachusetts.
Florida's only win is against the team that plays freaking Stonehill this week.
And it might be the only win they get all year.
You know how bad it is? The only team you defeated has a showdown with Stonehill.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Stonehill.
Not even Stony Brook.
And apparently doesn't have a logo.
Not even Stony Brook, he said.
That's a bold choice. What should we do for the logo?
Well,
no
is,
logo.
Is that game home or away? Where are we playing that one? Where are we playing that one?
That one's in Stonehill.
Oh, so
like I said, in front of 2,400 people.
You did this.
Yeah.
We're on the road. Hayes.
Yeah.
We're not just against Stonehill. We got to play them at their place.
I tell you what.
The only thing worse than playing Stonehill is playing them at their place.
You thought it was hard to win in the swamp.
Is that where game day is, or are they at Alabama, Georgia?
Oh, my goodness. I think it probably is. Do you agree with me on Tennessee? Do you think Tennessee's as good as I think they are?
They look really good.
I mean, honestly, I haven't seen Oregon, and I said that at the top of the program. So I don't know how good Oregon is, but I've seen Ohio State, and Michigan, and Penn State, and the rest of the would-be's at the top. And I
mean, they toyed with Syracuse, which now looks like a nice win.
Yes.
I mean, Syracuse easily beat Clemson.
Yeah,
Clemson.
And they toyed with them.
Toyed with Syracuse.
And so I think right now, and again, it's a small sample. I know we just started. I get it. But
they look impressive.
Other than Oregon, who I have not seen, and Oregon obviously is impressive because I see their scores, I don't think there's anybody I wouldn't pick either Tennessee or Georgia to beat. And by the way, and that includes Miami, who's very good. It includes FSU, who's very good. I think they're both really good too now. And I may feel differently in 2 weeks about all of them. But right now, I thought that watching Tennessee, man, is that guy a good coach. Boy, is Josh Heupel a good coach.
Absolutely.
I mean, he loses guys left and right. He lost the quarterback thing with Nico. So I mean,
they should have beaten Georgia.
Yeah, right.
I mean, a very makeable field goal.
Yeah, the guy missed a field goal.
Yeah.
And you know Georgia's good. But, I mean, he gets this guy, Joey Aguilar. Joey Aguilar is a guy from App State who transferred to UCLA. And the reason Tennessee got him is because the Tennessee guy went to UCLA. So he says, well, I guess they're going to play the new guy, so I got to find somewhere. And he's made him one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I mean, he inherits this App State UCLA guy. The only reason he got him is because UCLA got his guy, and he's made him one of the best passers in the country. I mean, now he couldn't be that lucky. If Aguilar was that good going in, he wouldn't have landed at UCLA. He'd have landed at Penn State or LSU. The fact that he landed at UCLA, which everybody knew was a dying program at the time, means he wasn't that sought after. I didn't watch him at App State, but Heupel's turned the guy into a dang Heisman candidate.
What Heupel has done with Aguilar and what Kiffin has done with Trinidad Chambliss or whatever his name is.
Franz Ferdinand.
Or Chambliss Trinidad.
The guy who got killed that started World War I.
Trinidad
Chambliss. It's incredible. What the coaching in the SEC is at such a high level, which is, again, what really stands out about the incompetence in Gainesville.
Yeah, by the way, speaking of LSU Ole Miss, we'll have that on the radio station.
Oh, cool.
LSU at Ole Miss will be on 92.5 FM. No Gator game this
That
weekend.
game may be 4.5 hours long.
And it may
is
be
going to be a great
worth
game.
every minute. So, yeah, you'll hear it right here on the radio
Lane told
station.
us to take the over.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's right.
And I'm going to trust him.
You'll hear it right here on the radio station, 92.5 FM, LSU at Ole Miss. We'll be back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Margie Williams in Jacksonville at 904-296-2500.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank. N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big... Whoa!
See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. It's less than a week out from the MLB playoffs and a perfect time to rip packs of 2025 Bowman Chrome Baseball. Released on Tuesday, it has a 100-card checklist of the Chrome prospects. Open 7 days a week. It's Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, where we've been today on the program, it's certainly been a fun show today. Lee Smith checked in from Bethpage Black. He'll be at the Ryder Cup tomorrow with his friends from Optum. He's the executive director of the Players Championship and our golf analyst. Can't wait to watch that. I really can't. I cannot wait to get up in the morning, get up early and watch that tomorrow morning. Starts a little bit after 7 o'clock. We talked about that. Greg McGarity was here talking college football. He is from the Gator Bowl, the executive director of the Gator Bowl. So 2 executive directors today, too. And Robert Hainsey was the subject of a Hayes Carline one-on-one today. He is the center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, big week. We talked about all this football stuff. JJ, I hope you know what's coming up this weekend as well in hardball. I hope you know what's happening. I hope you've looked.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
That's unbelievable. Let me tell you what's coming up. Hayes Carline, who hails from the Bowl School. The last 3 games of the regular season, Pirates and Braves.
Oh,
okay.
my God.
Let me tell you what.
I thought the Braves had won like 10 in a row.
They actually lost yesterday to ruin our meaningless win streak.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say,
they were blowing that draft pick.
They really are.
Let me just say this. We already beat that ass earlier. We won 2 out of 3 earlier. You know what time it is now? Finish the job.
When's the Gator Kid
Finish him.
pitch?
It's time to finish the job. What's that?
When's the Gator Kid pitch? Hopefully this week.
He's not starting it. He pitched 1 inning. Hunter Barco.
Okay.
And from Bowles also pitched 1 inning. He'll pitch an inning or 2 in Atlanta.
Okay.
But it's time to finish the job.
Yeah, the Braves win inexplicably. The Braves, who were out of playoff contention months ago, just went on a 10-game win streak where they didn't have 1 error. They didn't give up more than 5 runs, and they scored more than 5 runs in every single game. It was like the first time anyone's ever done that since like 1900.
How about that?
And, of course, it meant 0, less than 0, because it took away a good draft pick from us. And they also haven't announced what's happening with Snitker, who's out of contract in like 4 days. So wow. Strange times in Atlanta.
Maybe the Braves will hire Napier.
Well, here's what I can tell you.
Anyone could be better than that.
Here's what I can tell you. On Sunday, on the final game of the season, 84-year-old Charlie Morton, who's pitched for both of them, is pitching.
Wow.
I'm happy about that. That he's retiring a Brave.
And they said Sale is gonna come in and pitch in that game too.
Okay.
We'll beat that ass.
So will you guys watch? It's meaningless, but for the records. But will you guys watch just because it's the last game your teams will play for a while?
I won't because I got a Jaguar game to call. But assuming I wasn't,
you won't
working,
go back and watch it.
No, but if I wasn't working, I'd watch some of it.
I'll see some of it. I haven't watched more than like 3 innings in a couple weeks. Honestly,
last night I watched every pitch until Skeens came out.
Yeah, I've been watching baseball, but not the Braves. I watched Skeens game last night. I watched the
Who do you guys think
Tigers game
is going to be in the World Series if you had to pick it today?
Go ahead, JJ, go first.
I'd say Phillies. I'll just say the Mariners.
Wow.
Mariners.
The Mariners are the only team that's never made the World Series. I didn't know that until I was reading that they hadn't won the AL West.
They're the only team that hasn't?
They're the only team that's never been to the World Series.
I like the Phillies. I'm still not. I think the fact that the Padres are in, I think the Padres
are good.
I think the Padres are good. And listen, I probably have the Dodgers 4th.
Which is crazy.
Because I don't think the Brewers are I don't think that's a collage or a mirage collage. I don't think that's a mirage. I think
maybe you could start a new saying.
Collage.
Yeah. They're a total collage.
It's a collage.
They're terrible.
It's a collage. So but I don't think it's a mirage. I think they're legitimate. So yeah, I said. And I don't know what to make of the American League. I don't watch the American League.
It's all over, though, especially now with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Asked me a month ago, I would have said, yeah, I like the Tigers in the World Series.
But I don't. I think.
And the Guardians, man, when you see their lineup, you're like, how the hell did this happen, man?
Yeah.
It's a who's who of nobody.
And I haven't watched the Blue Jays enough. I just haven't. I haven't watched the Blue Jays enough, but obviously they've had a great season and
they got some big hitters on that team.
Yeah,
the Blue Jays should be good.
So Cleveland just has like a lineup that doesn't have any real stars in it.
Yeah, well,
is Roger Dorn still playing there?
Jose Ramirez is a star, but besides him, no, they really don't. They're, if you watch their games, they're bunting guys over and they're sack flies, and they have a great bullpen.
Which is how the Brewers play.
Exactly.
Which really,
Old school.
It's going to be a fun postseason because there's not. And listen, by the way, the Yankees and Dodgers are both still in it. In case you're wondering, they're both going to be in the postseason. So don't be shocked.
Although this Yankees team, I'd be shocked if they made it as far as last year.
Yeah, but they won 90 games.
Yeah,
they've won 90 games.
Where are you guys on the Judge versus Raleigh AL MVP?
Raleigh has to win it.
I would say Raleigh. I'm also a Yankee hater, but I mean, Judge's numbers are crazy. If Judge wouldn't have gotten hurt and sat out for 3 weeks a few months ago, I probably would have given it to Judge.
They hit 60 home runs while catching.
And your team wins the division for the first time in 24 years.
I mean, that's like if a shortstop and a left fielder have the same stats, the shortstop wins it.
Yeah,
because he did it while playing shortstop.
Great point.
Yeah, so I think Raleigh, it's got to be who it is. So we'll certainly see. All right,
and they do this if Judge has won it before, so they're more willing to give it to a guy who hasn't.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing.
I saw a lot of the pro Judge people are saying because his he's obviously his batting average is insanely higher than Raleigh's.
Well, you read this, which it is. You read this the other day, which is a fair point. You read this yesterday. I think where'd we land with the catcher hit the most? It wasn't Javi Lopez.
Salvador Perez.
It was 49.
2018. Yeah,
it's 49.
Yeah,
he's got 11 more.
Right,
11 more than any catcher in history.
It's the franchise record. And again, there's only been 4 players to hit 60 in the AL. I think there's only been 7 in Major League Baseball history.
The franchise record on a team Ken Griffey Jr. played for.
Right,
not just any franchise.
Edgar Martinez.
And Edgar was just a bunch of home run hitter. But exactly right. So all right, well that just about do it for our program. I can't wait tomorrow to talk about.
I can't believe tomorrow's Friday.
When it zipped by.
Boy, this zipped by.
Yeah, I think the season. I mean, I can't believe it's almost October. That's what. I guess when you're having fun like the Gators are,
it zips by.
Time zips by.
Yeah.
I guess that's exactly what it is. Folks, that'll do it for our program. But don't go anywhere. Time for a little bit of Jaguar programming coming up now. JP Shadrick and company. Jaguars happy hour right now. You'll hear from James Gladstone, the general manager, and of course from Tony Baselli, the executive vice president.
That's a good listen, by the way.
It is.
Gladstone
really
and Baselli, there's not a lot of coach speak there.
No, there's
they're
not.
telling you what is happening. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it really is. I'll say this. Tony's experience as a media guy all these years and now as one of these spokespersons for the team is perfect because he knows what – you're right. It's not coach, but he also understands what listeners want to hear. He was in this business for 20 years, and so he has a good feel for that. So you're exactly right about that. So keep it right where you have it right now. You'll hear from Tony Baselli, James Gladstone, and JP Shadrick. That comes up right now. We'll see you tomorrow back at 4 o'clock to end the week. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.